All new at 5:30, people across Iran taking to the streets to protest against economic hardship there, as inflation has skyrocketed and Iran's currency has dropped to record lows. President Donald Trump late last night warning Iran that if protesters get shot and killed, then the United States will intervene.
The threat came after an Iranian news agency said 5 people were killed and 17 injured in protests last Thursday. Now, according to activists, ABC News is reporting at least 29 people were killed and more than 1,200 detained.
Now, this is not the first protest of the regime led by the Ayatollah. A number of Iranians have fled the country since the 1979 revolution, some landing right here in the metro Louisville area.
WHAS 11's Conroy DeLuche spoke with 2 men hoping to see change in their home country.
I left Iran when I was 18. I'm 61 now.
At this point, Mehdi Gayomi has lived in Kentucky longer than Iran.
This was my son's wedding 2 years ago, 3 years ago almost.
He's made a home in Oldham County, decades after fleeing the theocratic regime that has ruled Iran since the Islamic Revolution of 1979.
You want freedom to speak, you want freedom to live your life the way you want it, and that's something that people in Iran unfortunately don't have.
A sharp economic downturn is a factor in the latest wave of protests in the country, which erupted late last month. ABC News is reporting that some protesters are chanting, "Death to the Islamic Republic." Security forces sent by the supreme leader reportedly used tear gas and live ammunition to try and control the protests.
And make sure everyone's aware of what's going on here.
Naim Torkian left Iran more than 10 years ago, eventually settling in Jeffersonville. Right now, he's in Washington, D.C., making appointments with lawmakers and bending the ear of anyone who will listen.
Cost of living, they have problem with freedom of expression, they have problem with freedom of religion, freedom of speech.
As he continues to meet with anyone who can spare a moment.
And we're going to walk through and go to the Hart building.
Gayomi does have hope for change. He mentioned President Trump's defense of protesters. And earlier in 2025, the U.S. bombed nuclear sites in Iran over the summer.
That finally somebody is here to help the Iranian people as well as prevent future attacks in United States and allies of United States around the world.
From Oldham County and the nation's capital, these 2 native Iranians will be keeping a close eye on their home country. In Louisville, Conroy DeLuche, WHAS 11 on your side.
According to the human rights activist news agency, demonstrations have spread out to more than 220 places in Iran.
And that includes 26 of the country's 31 provinces.